Roma, the final frontier of movies. It's a masterpiece. The movie does an amazing job on representing the middle class, the other said. Big words, big words, big words, the New York Times said. I'm pretty sure they said that. But overall, the movie is perfect. Personally, I would object for some obvious reasons. However, an idea that everyone agrees on is that each individual has their own interpretation of the film that only makes the film better in every way. If only that were true. I am right. My interpretations are the only right interpretation. I know all. Huh, got him. But yeah, he does have a point. Am I right?
This could be us. So back to what I was saying. Could be us.
Okay, so in order to get to the main meat of the essay, I need you to at least remember this one important quote that pretty much summarizes the whole plot of the movie. It's all about family, a great man once said. Now, I know this is freaking cheesy, but I'm not wrong. The only reason why the characters are able to overcome their biggest obstacle and grow to be better was the help of their closest peers, family. At least remember that. But, however, the way they used cinematography, lighting, and a little bit of other film seasonings only showed how timeless the message is. But first, a recap. So it starts with this maid, right, named Cleo. She worked for this very wealthy white family. Overall, her life was going smoothly until she revealed to her boyfriend that she's pregnant. The boyfriend congratulates her while grabbing his suitcase and changing his identity forever. Anyway, throughout the 9 months of pregnancy, the father of the wealthy white family was inspired by Cleo's boyfriend and decided to follow his tracks to never be seen again. Also, by the end of the pregnancy, the newborn baby dies at birth. It may have something to do with the attack on the city, but now we're caught up to the moment the mother, Sophia, says that it's time for the kids to go on a beach trip. Alright, let's get this started with the first scene, which displays the mental state of our main character, Cleo, by showing us the house and its static, lifeless objects. A piano, a sign, no emotions, no emotions, just pieces of matter. And for the first 30 seconds of that scene, you can see Cleo as static as a mannequin. Soon the mood would change as we see a good old-fashioned scene of a family getting ready for a nice beach weekend trip, being contrasted by Cleo's depression and silence. If I were to cut the scene in half, you could see the two different stories, like black and white. How ironic. She has a physical and emotional barrier as you see her not allowing anyone into what she is thinking or even cheering her up, such as the kids having these golden smiles and even the dog attempting to get her to do something. But all would fail, even when they reached the beach. So
Ya deja de cambiarle. ¿Cómo llevo la cantera? Espérate.
something that I really like about the camera movement in this scene is the fact that it's moving smoothly left and right. It's nice and easy, as if that is its only intended purpose. This idea of the camera will be very significant on the ride back, so don't forget.
¡Vaya! Bueno, está bien, pero un ratito. ¡Sí!
Now we're in the calm before the storm, but there are a couple things that the movie wants to remind you of. The separation. Cleo being so much bigger character, watching the small family in the distance, under the bright sun, having some fun being contrasted by Cleo's loneliness. One of the daughters attempted to influence her to come out and play, but Cleo would stand her ground like a pillar, while the family would go into the ocean, moving around in really chaotic waters. However, the tides would change in this next scene, which would foreshadow the worst in a sneaky way by flipping the elements of the beach scene. Day is now night, and the group is now one with both positive emotions from the family and Cleo for negative. This rivalry on what mood would come out on top would end when the mother reveals to the children about the divorce. She tries to fluff it up to ease the pain, but like Cleo's wall of emotions, it fails. And now, after knowing everything that just happened, this next scene is just absolutely miserable. I'm pretty sure I don't have to explain the polar opposites of what's happening on the right and on the left of the screen, but I will say the whole family is just static and sad as Cleo. For once, the whole group is almost together, but Cleo isn't ready to take that step and let her emotions out like the rest, which explains the gap in between them. Thankfully, that will change into the beach scene once again. Cleo at last is finally playing with the family as we are given a swayed camera movement like in the car once again with Cleo playing with one of the kids. Overall, the family is together. Everything was going well till we had this sad yet beautiful scene. I'm going to take a big note from my journal for this scene, my reading journal. Alright, Kendall, take this one over. I'm sorry, Professor, but I couldn't make a video essay without this quote from myself. Despite Cleo's inability to swim, Cleo doesn't waste a second going deep to the ocean to save the children from drowning. But in order to keep the scene suspenseful, they intentionally have this awkward dolly camera going on one axis to not show us the face of the children. It's just Cleo in the endless ocean, which is supposed to represent her life and how she goes through it. As she went deeper into the ocean, the waves went high and low, representing life. But as her life got worse since the beginning of the film, the ocean got deeper, nearly submerging her. Yet she didn't flinch and kept going, because unlike her own child, she has a chance to save her family and comfort them when needed. Since she was going through a traumatic divorce, her determination not only saved them from being lost at sea physically, but spiritually as well, bringing the children back to land, back to reality, instead of being lost in it. That's what war represents in this movie, Professor. When the disaster is over, Cleo finally destroys the barrier between her and her family, and reveals her emotions and her thoughts, having the light between them being closed and finally becoming one big, sad family, but a family nonetheless, mourning together. Hey, remember that car thing I said way back? About how the camera movement is smooth and relaxing. Well, as we see it now, it is chopped and static, just like the beginning of the video of when you saw Cleo alone, but not alone anymore. But to heal the mood,
Te quiero mucho, Cleo. Yo también te quiero mucho.
in the end, the family has a new chapter in their life. Now not having the financial help from their father, and now having more social pressures more than ever. After everything they went through, they will stand strong and keep moving forward. Especially Cleo, now knowing that her true family was the friends that she made along the...
Bonk!
Don't you dare say that dumb freaking quote. But he does have a point though. What do you mean the take had my quote 4 years ago? You gotta be f***ing kidding me.